Hey, what's going on? This is another episode of the Reporter Vlog News for August 17th, 2026 on a Monday morning. Got a double header to do today. First story, pretty serious. Second story, I guess say pretty light. First story, ICE pretty much has a new dangerous toy to use. The last thing that this group needs is a new dangerous toy to use. Well, not really a toy, but you know what I'm saying. Um, but let's get right into it. Shout out to my friend for the donations. The donation of this first story. Um, let's get right into it. I explained the plans to give officers gloves that can deliver electric shock. Electric shock gloves. But let me get into the story and I'll offer some kind of commentary on top of that. Top of the story. It's brought to you by CBS News. I spend up to $20 million on gloves that deliver a painful electric shock. Man, $20 million of your money. Because the government sure ain't no give them this type of money. Ooh. It's brought to you by CBS News, like I said. It was updated on August 12th, 2026 at 9:39 p.m. Um, with the publisher being, let's see, I guess no publisher. But let's get right into it. U.S. Immigration and Customs enforcement officers may soon be outfitted with gloves that can deliver a painful electric shocks intended to gain compliance from combative individuals. ICE plans to spend between 10 million to 20 million to purchase conductive distraction and de-escalation devices for officers and agents by March, according to a notice published Monday by the Department of Homeland Security. The devices are known as the GLOV, which stands for General Low Output Voltage Emitter, and are manufactured in Compliance Technology LLC of Lexington, Kentucky. So these pains in the butts are coming straight out of my home state, Lexington, Kentucky. Man, it would be a red state to get involved. They have been used in recent years by some jails and police departments. The notice said the solicitation for a no-bid contract could be published as early as Friday. A DHS spokesperson told the CBS News in a statement, ICE is constantly assessing the needs of our officers in the field to ensure that they have the tools and equipment necessary to safely arrest and remove illegal aliens from our country. Every decision is made with careful consideration, appropriately reviewed to ensure that any technology ICE utilizes is consistent with the applicable law enforcement policies and standards. Compliant technology did not comment to CBS News. Civil rights advocates, including from the American Civil Liberties Union, expressed alarm at the plan, saying ICE officers already face criticism for their use of force during the President Trump's immigration crackdown. Compliant technology says the devices will function as a normal pair of patrol gloves until officers press a switch to activate the electrical mode. The gloves must be applied directly onto a person's skin to deliver a painful stimulus that typically helps the officer gain compliance within seconds, according to the company. It's immediate and sharp, and it will distract you. I call it like a bee sting. Don Peters, president of the Institute of the Prevention of In-Custody Deaths, who is studying how the device has been used, told the AP if the officer is getting any type of resistance from the person, this is certainly an effective tool. Peter said he believed ICE demand purchase would likely be the largest from the client company to date. He said that he could envision ICE officers using the gloves to help remove incorporative subjects from cars and houses and in or out detention facilities. For smaller officers or weaker officers or older officers, I think it's a great advantage because it can reduce faster takedowns, shorten confrontations. He said, manufacturers warn the device should not be used as punishment against people merely exhibiting verbal defiance and belligerence. Or high-risk populations, such as children, pregnant women, or elderly, or disabled people. Jan Rolnick Bochetto, Deputy Project Director or Policing the ALC. See, you told at the AP that the public should have no confidence that ICE officers would use the device. Shouldn't have no confidence that ICE will use the device appropriately. She questions why the devices would be necessary for civil immigration enforcement, and noted those getting shocked might not have no advance warning. It says the truth right there in that paragraph. I spent last year showing this country they are too quick to use force. Now they will be able to deploy electric shocks, and with a slight push of a button, that maybe nobody else can see them do. She said, in introducing gloves that can so easily be used to deliver terrible pain in the encounters with, and it is a receipt for harm to the public. Supporters say the devices are generally used in specific jail and transport situations rather than broadly to patrol on the streets. They have been used to subdue violent suspects who are refusing to give in to squad cars and inmates who are harming themselves and threatening officers according to compliant technology. People said that he expected the devices to be misused by a small number of employees as with other policing technology, but he said they are unlikely to cause injuries. He said it would be important for ICE to have robust policies and training in place. To use the device, officers must complete a course and to be recertified every 2 years. Manufacturers says the planned purchase comes as ICE expands its crackdown on people accused of being in the U.S. illegally, amid pressure from the White House to arrest 2,000 people per day. Whew, man. Boy. 2,000 people per day. ICE has drawn scrutiny for its tactics during its arrest surge, including attempted vehicle stops in Maine and Texas last month, and ended with ICE agents fatally shooting two immigrants. In both the last month's shootings, agents were not wearing body cameras. DHS has pledged to widely deploy body worn cameras and said last month that all ICE arrest teams will have at least one officer equipped with a camera going forward. Okay, spending the $20 million on the gloves now to arrest illegal immigrants are in a civil cases of illegal immigration. Basically, this is just another weapon to put in ISIS's hands, because you know they're not going to comply to this, because they've shown not to comply, like the story says. General Rodney Bocello, Deputy Project Director on the Policing at the ACLU, told the AP that the public should not have no confidence that ICE officers will use the device appropriately. She questions why the devices would be necessary for the civil immigration enforcement, and noted that those getting shocked might have no advance warning. No advance warning. So basically, it's another version of a taser. That's all this is, except for it being hands-on or handheld, it's hands-on. But this is, like I said, this is just another weapon for ICE to use to take down people's mothers, take down people's separate families if they need to. When they like let's say if a husband and wife the wife is trying to keep her husband from being taken by ICE, they can put their hands on his wife and shock her to death. That's what they can do. This is what gives them the power to do. Bluetooth on. Like I said, this is what gives them the power to do. Anything, if they catch an immigrant falling into their trap, which is pretty much going to that immigration office, or anything like that, or going to a green card office or whatever it may be, and they say they didn't do nothing, they started ruckus and something like that. All you gotta do is touch them. So this is a sick way to pretty much take out the immigrants out of the U.S. to a so-called under the cover of turning a civil crime into a federal crime in their eyes. But somehow, how the law is remembered when a certain person's agenda is on the line. That's what I'm saying. It's somehow when the law is remembered when a certain person's agenda is on the line. But once again, if you take away the immigrants, sorry, United States, you done. You done. You done. You won't be able to do it anyway because so many of them. Because they make up the United States. They keep the United States going. You won't be able to do it anyway. You're going to always come up short. Shoot. You're always going to come up short. But this is a sick situation. Pretty much making ICE this touch more stronger. And to spend $20 million, that's like that money could go on to helping them Navy sailors out, which goes into another story. But they spend $20 million on ICE after all the corruption ICE has done. They're pumping back more money into them. Yeah. Make that make sense. civil, turning civil whatever into a felony. But like I say, the agenda will fall up short. He thinks he can make the United States perfect, while the people that are different. Sorry, it's not gonna work. It will never work. It'll never work. But like I said, once again, it's somehow everybody remembers the law. Everybody understands the law when somebody's agenda is on the line. And everybody knows who I'm talking about. But this is some kind of story, boy. Talking about continuing the war between the ICE and the protesters. It's will do it. Are you truly going to think they're going to keep quiet while you shock somebody's mother, while you shock somebody's son? You truly think in protesters going to keep quiet? No. Yeah, and it says right here, I spent the I spent the last year showing this country they are quick to use force. Now they will be able to deploy electric shocks with a slight push of a button that maybe nobody else can see them do. She said introducing gloves that can so easily be used to deliver terrible pain in the encounters is a receipt for harm to the public. Because to the naked eye, they look like normal gloves. They say all a person got to do, all ICE agent has to do is touch their or use their pointer finger. Use the pointer finger. Turn it on, use the pointer finger, and nobody will know the difference. Nobody know the difference. Like I said, once again, his mission will come up short. That's all it's to it. Because like I say, 2,000. And the crazy thing about it, he wants 2,000 immigrants to be deployed by day. Still gonna come up short. Cause what are you gonna do? Do their jobs? Not gonna do their jobs. And once again, you need somebody country though to put them tags on the back of clothes, made in USA, made in India. See, that's the truth behind this. There is no made in the USA. Nothing in America can say as far as that. Shoot. Only thing the United States got is baseball, Chevy, Ford. No. I guess you say GM, but ain't that nothing. Nothing. All their productions and whatnot comes from immigrants. All their productions, well, the things they hold so dear, come from immigrants, people that are not like them. That's all I got. Let me move on to this last story. Okay, this last story. Okay, so the Indiana bakery filed for bankruptcy. It's brought to you by Southern. It's brought to you by WLKY. Updated at 9:04 uh, p.m. on August 14th, 2026. Editorial standards. Okay. Gibsonville, Indiana, across the bridge. A Jeffersonville bakery has filed for bankruptcy. Adrian and Company in downtown Jeffersonville filed for Chapter 11 uh, for protection on August 5th. According to documents, the company estimates it owes between $100,000 to $500,000. In a social media post, the business said it's not It is not closing. Adrian has served the area since 2001. 2001. Hmm. Ooh-wee. Man. Well, sympathy to the fans of this bakery. I guess they get it together after a while because can't really say much on this story in general. I don't got a backup story. But like I said, there's sympathy to the fans of this bakery. Never been there, but we shall see what happens. But sad note, for story for free. Hayden Panettiere died last night. They said her the reason was unknown. Some said she was suffering from depression, um, and found her in the room, unresponsive, and man, 36 years old. 36 years old. She, I remember her in, yeah, in Remember the Titans. Remember her in a movie with Beyonce's sister Solange. One of the many Bring It Out movies. you know, what's it title? Bring It Up or Bring It Out movies. I forgot what that teenage cheerleading movie franchise. The title of it right offhand, but I remember her playing. Let's say I remember her playing in that movie with sister, with Beyonce's sister Solange, and and I think that's all I remember her in. But man, that's something. That's something. 36 years old, and but they say the reasons are unknown. But I got a funny feeling it was a suicide. Like I think somebody posted it was a suicide, and that's what she was probably pretty much battling. And when it's all said and done. But prayers to the family, prayers to the parents. My goodness, they lost both of their kids. Man, uh, double prayer for them. And, but we should see what eventually happened to her, because they probably perform an autopsy eventually. But that's all I got on that story. And have a good one. This is another episode. This is another episode of the Reporter Vlog News for August 17th, 2026 on a Monday morning. You have a good one. I'm done.